What's going on, everyone? So, the Phoenix Suns are trying to trade Kevin Durant, and it looks like they're probably going to get that done. You have so many teams that are in the mix for Kevin Durant. Houston apparently is interested. Dallas is apparently interested. Obviously, you have the Warriors who are pushing really hard, but apparently there's some reluctancy because they're worried that, how serious is Kevin Durant about returning to the Warriors. You got to keep in mind, Kevin Durant is right around the corner from being a free agent again. So, whichever team trades for him needs to make sure that he's willing to stick around long term. Obviously, even at his age, is still an incredible talent. Probably play another 5 years if he wanted to, at least, because he's not so reliant on his athleticism or anything like that. But here's the problem with the Suns. Trading Kevin Durant is probably not fixing anything because your problem isn't Kevin Durant. Your problem is Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. And it's why I've stressed so hard that the only way I see the Phoenix Suns really correcting this to the point of contention is by trading Devin Booker. The redundancy is in Booker and Beal. They're the same player. They play the same position. Neither is big enough to slide over and properly play the three. Neither is skilled enough as a playmaker to slide over and properly play the point. Right? So you have essentially this major redundancy on the offensive end, and now you're going to trade your best player, who is Kevin Durant, still at his age, and the guy that makes the most sense as the complementary piece alongside a Devin Booker or a Bradley Beal. Because Kevin Durant doesn't need the ball in his hands the way that those two do. He's arguably scarier off ball than he is on ball. And I understand his usage rate and stuff like that is higher this year than it has been in the past stuff, but it's because they need it to be. Right? So now you're taking away your best player and trading him for a package that is probably not changing things. They needed to trade Devin Booker. And I know Phoenix Suns fans don't want to hear that. I know Phoenix Suns fans, Devin Booker's Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun. I get it. But do you care more about a player or do you care more about trying to win? Now, obviously, look, it's a risk. There's no guarantee in winning. But also, you could make the trade, and it could be the wrong one. But to me, I think Devin Booker, you got the center position what you need. You got the center position locked up the way you needed it locked up. At this point, your hope is you trade Devin Booker, and you get a point of attack guard that can initiate and a better, 3-and-D wing. Like somebody with size, right? Like, if you could end up getting I don't know, Bruce Brown, something like that, right? Like, boom, somebody that could slot in. Or could you get take a chance on Lonzo? So Lonzo Ball and Patrick Williams might be perfect, right? Like point of attack guard, right? Obviously you got to get other stuff and other picks stuff, but I'm talking about athletic, point of attack, sizable guard that can make plays, put everything together, but also play off ball, right? But also be that point of attack defensive guy paired alongside Devin Booker, Kevin Durant at the 3, Pat at the 4, and then Nick Richards at the center. Right? I just think that that's a much more balanced unit. Get a couple bench pieces. Could you get an IO in the deal too and have him as your backup? Right? You could maybe do some noise in that regard. Again, that's just kind of the first guys that came to mind. I'm sure if I really thought about it, I could probably find a better package. But you get the point, right? Point of attack, versatile, defensive, two-way guard. Somebody that can initiate because the ball is going to be in Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal's hands, right? So I think I said Devin Booker earlier. You're trading Devin Booker to get that. I meant Bradley Beal. So Lonzo, Beal, Durant, Williams, and then Richards, right? Much better. And because between Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant, you have your offensive firepower. Right? Bradley Beal is still a 25-5-5 guy, but he's not when Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are on the team and Devin Booker is playing his position and all that stuff, right? So if you get that, well, now Bradley Beal gets to be more free. He gets to be himself because you need him to be the scorer. So now Bradley Beal gets to be Bradley Beal, and he probably gets back to being, 23 to 25 point a game guy. Kevin Durant gets to be Kevin Durant. You get that point of attack, sizable two-way guard, and again, just sticking with Lonzo as an example, Lonzo Ball, and then if you can get a 3-and-D kind of power forward to pair, because again, you don't need scoring after that. You have Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. And you're hoping that those two can be healthy enough to lead the charge to help you win an NBA championship. That's the problem. But what's going to happen is Phoenix is going to trade Kevin Durant, and nothing's going to get fixed. And they're still going to be just as bad, and they're going to try to put Bradley Beal into the starting unit. They're going to try to do all this stuff, and it's not going to work. It's going to continue to be a disaster. Now, again, could they get some... Maybe you get some crazy package in a Kevin Durant trade, maybe, right? Maybe you get the right... But, like, what is that? Right? Like, because the problem is you still have the redundancy with Bradley Beal and Devin Booker, right? Like, that doesn't get fixed. So it's just like, what other pieces could you get to put next to those guys to fix all of it? I just don't see that. I don't see the path to fixing that. Again, if you could trade Devin Booker, I could see the path to fixing that because, again, you'd have Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, who can now, Bradley Beal can slot into his natural position. Kevin Durant gets to play the 3, and you go get those pieces. Or if you have to, he can play the 4, and if you got a 3, right? Like, say you did some Houston deal, and you got one of their athletic 3-and-D wings, right? Like, boom, 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 boom. But that's the problem is I don't see a scenario where this gets fixed for Phoenix. And I think that they're going to trade Kevin Durant, and whoever gets Kevin Durant, good for them. And I think that Phoenix is still going to be a disaster, and then they're going in the offseason, and then they keep trying to trade Bradley Beal, and they're not going to be able to trade Bradley Beal, and then either they're just going to be stuck, and they're just going to be a bad team until Devin Booker leaves the free agency, or they're going to ultimately have to trade Devin Booker and probably hit the reset button at that point. It's the option, right? Because they don't want to trade Devin Booker, and Suns fans don't want to trade Devin Booker. How long is Devin Booker going to stay with Phoenix when he's going to be a play-in team for the rest of his career? At what point does Devin Booker go, you know what, I need to get out of here? Right? Like, because again, him and Bradley Beal don't work. That's the redundancy. I literally said, go back and watch the Suns videos. I literally made several. As soon as they traded for Bradley Beal, I said all of this would happen. And I said they're going to ultimately have to trade Devin Booker or Kevin Durant. Because it made no sense. How can some random guy on YouTube see it, but professionals that get paid millions couldn't? You got the new ownership. Matt Ishbia got new owner syndrome, and he got the itch, and he was like, "Oh, I need more stars," right? Like, and they traded for the wrong one. You had it set. I understand you need to get rid of Ayton. Turn Ayton into a serviceable, just rebounding, shot blocking big, and then go get that center, right? Like, if you could have turned Ayton into Bruce Brown and Jakob Poeltl, they would have been champions. Because you would have had Chris Paul with Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, right? Or you could have traded Chris Paul if you wanted to and just had Bruce Brown, right? If you still wanted to do the Chris Paul trade, whatever, right? They didn't need Yusuf Nurkic. They didn't need Bradley. Like, they needed you had the offense. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, that was your offense. You had more than enough offensive firepower. You just needed guys to be serviceable, right? Like, why was Grayson Allen so good for them last year? Because he was just lights out off ball. Just couldn't miss from 3. It's just so silly. But they're going to trade Kevin Durant, and it's not going to fix it. Look, I'll be surprised if I'm wrong. I have been spot on, like more accurate about the 2 teams I've been more accurate about more than anybody is the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns. Those are 2 teams that I have, like, for the last few years have been like, this is what's going to happen, this is how it's going to go, and it's going to be bad. And every time it's happened. Like, those are the 2 teams I have just been, like, insanely money on. And it's just, I tell you, Phoenix is going to be a disaster. But, look, I've been wrong before. Maybe I'll be wrong this time. Don't count on it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think that they end up trading Kevin Durant? Where do you think Kevin Durant ends up going? I think he goes to Phoenix, or Warriors, or Houston, or where else? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. If you enjoy these types of videos, I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.